Hi there, good afternoon to Closing Trades. I'm Sneha. With me is Shrishti Sharma, and last 1 hour of trade for the day as well as for the week. So let's see how the markets have settled in right now, given the kind of moves we've seen today. Open week, we've recovered slightly after that, but once again we've given up all of those gains that we had seen just a few hours after opening. You can see that spike in the Nifty chart and how that's reduced and come down from there. So it's a 0.5% cut coming in on Nifty 50. What's looking a little worrisome is the fact that we have not even held on to the 24,650 mark as of now. We're just below that, so that is looking a little concerning when it comes to Nifty 50 right now. Sensex 2 in tandem with the Nifty, a 0.4% cut. Nifty Bank is nominally doing better than the benchmarks. A 0.3% cut is what we're seeing on Nifty Bank. It's names like Trent that have perked up in today's trading session. Trent is up 4.5%, so that's a good move coming in on Trent, along with Nestle, Asian Paints, Aisha. So it's once again including ITC, HUL. So it's the FMCG pack like Shrishti was highlighting earlier that's continuing to gain for a second day in the row, and all of these FMCG majors are doing pretty well for themselves. On the flip side, what's not doing well at all today and is declining rather steeply in today's trading session is the entire Pharma pack. If you take a look at the intraday move, it's another 3.5% cut, 3.3% cut coming in on Nifty Pharma today after a 4% cut that we saw yesterday. So big cuts coming in on Nifty Pharma. It seems like Sun Pharma, Dr. Reddy's, Cipla that are down between 3 and 4%. And joining that list is IT as well, because Infosys, Wipro, both of these stocks are down too. So that is what the market texture is looking like right now in terms of Nifty 50 group of stocks. But even from the broader end, it's only FMCG that's in the green. On the flip side, Pharma, IT, big losers. But they've been followed by metal, realty, PSU banks, auto, Nifty Bank and energy. So the entire broader end of the market is also in the red. Advanced decline ratio in the favor of the declines. So the market breadth is looking weak. But we have Sharan who's joined us in the studio today. And Sharan, good afternoon. What's your first take on the kind of market move we've seen right now? What kind of sense are you making? Because a 0.5% cut and 24,650 is also something we've not held on to.
So yes, Sneh, Shishti, firstly, good afternoon. Looking at the market week on all sectors, even if you saw today, FMCG saw big upside momentum in the morning, but again, it's given up almost all its gain. If you see at Hind Unilever around 4-5% up now, hardly managing around a 1% kind of upside. But Nifty has a good support. Again, I'm saying around 24,600 odd levels, which is also its 100-day EMA. If at all it has held support around about that level, and if it reverses from that level, you can see a little bit more upside around 24,700 to 900 levels. But if that breaks, the next support comes at around 24,500, which is again a very strong support, and Nifty has tested that support around 3 or 4 times previously in the month of June also. Like I said in the morning, Nifty rarely goes below that June month low, which is again coming at 24,500. So I think that kind of levels will hold. Again, we'll wait for the result seasons to get over. In the next 15 days, we'll get a more clear picture where the Nifty is heading. Bank Nifty, as you said, again doing slightly better than Nifty, but again weak today. On the chart, it's showing a inverted hammer chart. Again, good support around 55,500 level. If that holds, well and good. If that breaks, again, you can see quickly Bank Nifty also heading to that 55,000 mark.
All right, so that's take coming in on Nifty as well as Bank Nifty. But well, of course, yes, a lot of these results are making through their way, and the latest of all is actually UPL, where this time around we have seen a decent number rather coming in from UPL operationally, because the EBITDA is actually above than what the street was penciling in. And along with that, if you look at the bottom line, then yes, again, the company has reported a loss of close to 88 crores, but the expectation was a little over 100 crores as well. So a bit of a resilience over there as well. But Sharan, quickly, if you can help us with the chart check on UPL, because that stock has been flirting with that 700 odd level of late. Anything specific that you wish to highlight? So
on the chart, Shrishti is looking very good, trading above all its moving averages. I think results are not that bad compared to expectation. So you might see some kind of uptick again coming in right now. It has a small resistance around 730 odd levels. Once it can move around about 730, above 730, you can quickly see the stock taking out levels around 760 to even 800 odd levels. On the charts on daily and weekly front, again very good. So So if anyone has a position, do hold on to it. Results are also a decent inline kind of set of results, but a good move above, you'll see above 730 levels.
Okay, so that's the take on UPL on the charts. We also have Mr. Sudeep Bandyopadhyay who's joining us, who's a market expert. Sudeep, hi, good afternoon, and thanks for your time on our show today. First up, let's talk about the auto space, because today all eyes have been on the entire auto sales numbers. So far, we have numbers coming in from a lot of players, and so far, the only thing that we are seeing below estimates as of now is the M&M tractor segment, and what's beaten estimates is M&M Auto, Ashok Leyland, TVS Motors, and Tata Motors CV. So largely mixed set of numbers coming in so far, because a lot of them are in line as well. What is your take on the kind of auto sales numbers we've seen, and how have they fared versus your expectations?
Well, I think pretty much it's in line with the expectation. I would say at least that's what we were penciling in. We were reasonably sure that the commercial vehicle numbers would be in line and better and improving, and that's pretty much what the Ashok Leyland numbers shows. Even if you look at Eicher Motors, their commercial vehicle part does show promise and improvement. As far as domestic two-wheeler sales are concerned, obviously it's subdued. Look at the Bajaj numbers. I think they are really bad. Of course, Bajaj has a fantastic export performance, which takes care, and that's why the overall numbers for Bajaj still looks better. But I think the small cars as well as two-wheeler, there is a challenge. And we know that there was demand constraints, and everybody was talking about that. We are hoping that festive season, post-monsoon, things will improve. We'll have to wait and watch. That's pretty much what it is. As things stand today, I think there is a problem as far as demand for small cars as well as two-wheelers.
Right, so almost an inline set coming in for the auto sales data, but well, of course, a couple of these counters, be it from Eicher Motors, TVS Motors, they have been backed by a good set of earnings as well. But along with that, what we get to see is that definitely Pharma is one of the pain points in the market today. Well, of course, we have been talking about what Donald Trump has come out with. Their announcement has actually sent 17 letters, letter to 17 different companies for who have a good presence in the branded side of the business, and that could really impact the Indian generic players as well, because all in all, if such regulations come into play, it will contract the whole market size of any particular branded drug wherein some of the Indian generic companies may be playing. So the future outlooks gets impacted, and along with that, what really happens on the key drug prices, that will also be one of the key monitorable. But specifically Sun Pharma, you will see that is one of the top losers since the start of the day, because the Medicaid announcement that Donald Trump has come out with, Sun Pharma's Illumia is also one of the other products which is included in this list. So any particular hit to the pricing will definitely impact Illumia sales as well, which remains to be the key product for Sun Pharma. But Sharan, that's the news flow. What are the charts telling you? Because the top 3 losers on Nifty 50 are from the Pharma pack.
So Shrishti, before that, I think one thing you have to give to Trump, he is fulfilling all his promises made during the election, especially when it comes to Pharma also. So this was quite expected. He is keeping his word, and he's quite consistent, and whatever he says, he actually fulfills it. In terms of charts, again, Sun Pharma, Lupin, even Dr. Reddy's have all given a breakdown, looking quite weak on the charts, now trading below all their moving averages. I was quite positive last week on Pharma, but again, a new development has happened today. So on back of that, I think it's a very mixed set. On one hand, you have Torrent Pharma, JB Chemicals on the verge of a breakout, Glen Pharma also trading above all its moving averages, while you have Sun Pharma, Lupin, Dr. Reddy breaking down below its moving averages. So exactly, I don't know how this sector will behave. It's very news based, and even if you see like companies like Mankin Pharma, which has hardly any exposure to US, is holding quite well still on the charts. So very mixed set in Pharma also. We'll wait and see how the next week takes us during trading session.
Okay, well, all eyes are going to be on where the entire market, of course, and individual pockets are held next week. But Sudeep, while we're talking about Pharma, Sharan just said that Trump is actually doing everything he has promised. And earlier he has also, at least warned this tweet about a 200% on tariff. To what extent do you think that could actually, turn to fruition? Anything that can happen on that front? Where are you seeing the impact on our pharma sector back home?
Well, I think one thing is very sure that as long as Mr. Trump is the president, the volatility is the order of the day, and we have to be bracing ourselves for that. Every day there is something new, and some new tweet comes in, or some communication, an interview comes in, which kind of rattles the market. And I think that's the order of the day. As far as pharma is concerned, putting a tariff 200% or otherwise is not a viable proposition for you and the consumers which Trump is trying to protect. So I think he will not venture there. But this, yesterday's and today's initiative where he has written to the pharma company CEOs to bring down the prices in US, I think that is a threat definitely. And some of the Indian companies who have large business in US definitely will be impacted if he carries out some other measure, some other punitive measure, or some other steps he takes to ensure that his communication is adhered to. I think that's a matter of big concern and worry. So under these circumstances, I think, and this view I've been maintaining for some time, it's better to be a little careful about companies having significant exposure in the US market, and focus on companies who have less or no exposure as far as US markets are concerned. So, we were just talking about Mankind Pharma. I think that's one company which has got 95% of the sales in India, and results were decent. So one can focus on companies like this who have got a significant domestic presence and limited US presence.
So that's the take coming in on the pharma space. But yes, with tariff uncertainty taking over the world, it's time to look inwards at domestic players. Suggest Envision Capital's Nilesh Shah. He still sees opportunity in local pharma names. Let's go across and listen in.
I would still prefer the domestic pharma opportunity, the domestic healthcare opportunity versus the global opportunity. I think no matter what it is, but when it comes to essentially the global opportunity, yes, the demand for our pharma products, our generics are quite kind of non-discretionary, in the sense that no matter what it is, it's going to hard to be for any of these big players or big markets to create alternative manufacturing capabilities. So I think India clearly stands out as manufacturing capability. But nevertheless, there are plenty of these regulatory roadblocks, if I may say, be it product-specific approvals or be it the tariffs. So my view is that we've seen some bit of run-up already happen. I would advise caution in that space for now, right now, and be more focused on the domestic healthcare opportunity, be it pharma companies selling medicines in India, or be it our own chain of hospitals, or be it essentially our own health insurance companies, or be it our own online distribution platforms, which are basically distributing health insurance as products. To me, that's a much more risk-adjusted and a growth opportunity versus essentially the global pharma opportunity.
About PNB Housing Finance, because the company has seen a slump of more than 16% in trade right now, and that's coming on the back of some concerns that the MD and CEO, Mr. Girish Koski, has resigned from the company. But let's understand what really happened and what could be in the store going ahead. We are being joined by Ashok Chandra, MD and CEO of Punjab National Bank, joining us on the show right now. Good afternoon, Mr. Chandra, and thank you so much for your time. And firstly, Mr. Koski's exit has rather come abruptly, and especially when we have just seen your numbers kicking in. If you can help us understand that what really happened, any reasons that you can help us with, because Mr. Koski, we have to give him for this fact that he has definitely done a lot in terms of the financial turnaround of the company.
In fact, the Mr. Koski was there in this company for the last 2.5 years, and he has done a wonderful job, no doubt about it, and the company has done fairly well now. And see, this resignation which has come because of his family reasons, in fact, yesterday he has put up his paper, and yesterday board meeting was there of the company. And we are one of the majority, the stakeholders. We are not a majority stakeholder, sorry. We have a 28% equity in that. And see, the day-to-day functioning bank doesn't participate in this, all those internal activities. And the resignation is what he has submitted, and he has suggested that because of his family reasons, he wanted to settle in Bangalore. And that is the reason he has put up this paper. I don't think any other things to be read under this now.
All right, point taken. But along with that, if you can just help us understand that who steps in the corner office in the interim? Has there been any plans that you are working with, or is this resignation is also coming as a surprise and no such pre-planning has been done of late?
No, I think the company will have the succession planning. See, one thing we must understand that this is an independent company, a listed company, run by the independent directors and very renowned the board of directors there on this particular company. And the company is having the succession planning. And I understand that yesterday NRC of that particular company, I think they have already engaged some HR firm to find out the suitable person for this particular CEO job. And see, this company is existing for a very long time, and this company is doing fairly well for a very long time. So I don't think that the resignation of one MD and CEO is going to put so much pressure on the performance of the company.
Right, but Mr. Chandra, I will have to say the market is disagreeing with that, because the kind of cut we are seeing on the stock today is it's only been catapulting since the day has begun, and it's only been tanking lower. But on the management front, help us understand any timeline in mind that you have set internally by when we will see a new MD CEO, and would it be an internal promotion, or are you looking at candidates out?
See, one thing, let us understand very clearly that we have a stake in this particular company to the extent of 28%. We are not the majority shareholder also. And we do not participate in the internal functioning. There is an independent board is there, NRC is there, and they have already seized that matter, and the process, what I understand, that they have already started. And they have also, the company has also released the press release stating that what has happened, and I don't think any other issues are there in this particular company except that MD has put up his paper, and that also because of his family reasons. No other factor we should see in this now. That is my submission, and I think we are also one of the investors. We are holding on this particular company for a long time. And if we are not selling our stake in this particular company, I think all other investors also should have faith in this particular company.
Indeed, Mr. Chandra, point taken. But under Mr. Koski, the company did set ambitious plans. When he used to come to us as well, he talked about the affordable housing business. He wanted to scale it up to 15,000 crores and the retail loans assets to be scaled up to rupees 1 lakh crores till FY27. Are these plans still intact? How is the company planning to take all of this forward?
One thing, these are all the internal issues of that particular company. One thing I can tell you, I am also heading a big organization, and whenever we plan and come out with some strategy, I think this strategy is not of MD, it is the strategy of the organization. So I'm talking about the organization in a broader sense, that entire top management comes out with their strategy. MD just presents that what is the thought of the management and how the management is going forward. So I don't think there will be any challenge as far as the strategy of that organization is there. And we should not read much into this resignation of the project MD.
Sure, but Mr. Chandra, I just want to try and understand a little bit more about the timing at which this resignation has come, given how we've seen the entire financial basket of stocks perform in terms of their earnings for the quarter gone by. Banks have not surprised, barring a few, and we're also hearing challenges on macro conditions. MSME lending has slowed down. Two-wheeler, three-wheeler sales are not looking all that optimistic. In terms of macros right now, how do you think this resignation is going to affect further, if at all, on PNB Housing Finance?
I think the NRC and the board of that particular company, that is the PNB Housing Finance, they are already started the process for a new MD, and they have already engaged some HR firm also, what I understand from them. And let us wait. I think all those processes should happen very quickly, and the organization will have the new MD, and already the entire top management is there in that particular company, and they will take it forward.
And Mr. Chandra, you've already given us a little bit of a hint on this note. I was listening to your previous answer, but once again, for the benefit of our viewers, if you could reiterate or help us gain some more clarity, are you going to be trimming any stake in PNB Housing Finance? Like you said, you hold the 28% stake as of now. We have seen recently some stake pairing happening. Any outlook on this front?
PNB side, I can give the comfort to all the stakeholders that we are not going to dilute any share in this, and we are going to hold on in this particular company. No stake dilution is there from the PNB side.
Okay, Mr. Chandra, that's quite optimistic to know, and thanks once again for setting the stage right in terms of what the street can expect, what we can expect to understand from this resignation, and how the impact could be going ahead. So, well, no stake sale coming in from PNB in PNB Housing Finance, at least in the near future. That's the word coming in from Mr. Chandra. So thank you so much for taking the time out and joining us. Let's once again pull up the stock and see what the stock is up to in today's trading session. Well, the pessimism around the stock continues to be there. Almost an 18% cut is what we're seeing. It's one bad day for PNB Housing, but let's see over the course of next week how this stock fares, if it's able to recover in trade or not. But let's move away from this entire conversation and once again reconnect with Sharan and Sudeep. And Sudeep, well, lots is happening in this entire financial space. But if you take a look at purely earnings, right, on the earnings front so far, what has been your